Welcome class, myself Professor D.S. Rai, Professor Department in Civil Engineering, BBD, ITM, Lucknow. The course we are taking up KCE 076 Urban Transportation Planning, and which today lecture is lecture 27, in which we will discuss urban travel market. References as usual we have taken Chakravarti Partho and Das and Image, Principle of Transportation Engineering, Pepe Costa and Prebendares, Transportation Engineering and Planning, Kadiali and Lal, Principle and Practices of Highway Engineering, and NAPTEL, and Internet material have been taken. The contents today we will cover the urbanization and hazard, new opportunities, data sources, data collection, market size data, market status analysis, economic definition of a market area, equilibrium price, market price, competition over the market areas, geographical information system and market area analysis. So, we will start from urbanization and hazards. A rapid and most ill planned urbanization has made traffic snarls the bane of the life. They not just cause air and sound pollution, but also lead to loss of productivity of a people. Further, they also by chance of accident. This has necessitated controlling the menace through the various method. One of them is urban transportation system market. Urban government and the local authority are increasingly pouring money into the urban transport system market to tackle the growing problem of congestion and the casualty. Operation and maintenance of such a system is also expensive. In the near future, with the increasing revenue collection through various forms of cess, use of FSIs, TDRs, authority are expected to be able to gather funds to install and operate the expensive urban transport system successfully. As a city are growing in a population and size, the demand for the urban transportation is increasing manifold. Owing to inadequate public transportation, private vehicles are also growing rapidly, adding to the traffic congestion issue. The traditional approach of resolving traffic congestion issue by increasing the capacity of the road network is not suitable anymore. The traffic congestion not only add to air and sound pollution, but imposes considerable cost in terms of health and productivity. It increases the probability of accident, which may lead to human and property damage. This is expected to be a major driving factor for the urban transportation system market. Threat affecting the urban transport system market is high cost associated to it. Since planning, operating, financing and maintenance of the urban transportation system need significantly invested, it poses a multi-dimensional challenges for the government and the regulatory body worldwide. New opportunity. New opportunities that are expected to single growth of urban transport system market include increasing demand from the metropolitan cities across the world. Metropolitan cities are center of diverse activities and are densely populated, and they are at attractive choice in terms of living, working and housing. Owing to this, they suffer from the limited space availability, traffic congestion, inadequate parking spaces and noise and air pollution. New opportunity, high capacity modes that offer a greater mobility for the growing population is increasingly essential for their efficient accessibility and economic development. As a result, government is taking up execution of urban transportation system on priority basis in the metropolitan city worldwide. Urban transportation system market can be segmented on the basis of transit mode, city type and geography. On the basis of transit type, the urban transport system market can be segmented into the rapid transit, semi rapid transit and street transit. The street transit mode can be further segmented into private, for hire and public transit mode. Data collection. The report has been compiled through the extensive primary research. What are the primary research? By the interview, survey and observation of seasoned analysts, and the secondary research are entails reputable paid resources, trade journals, industry body database. The report also features a complete quantitative and qualitative assessment by analyzing data gathered from the industry analysis and the market participant across key point in the industry value chain. Market size and objective assessment of the trajectory of the market. Recommendation to company for strengthening their foothold in the market. Market size and shape. Each economic activity has location, but the various demands, raw material, labor, parts, services, etc., and the flow each location generates also have a special dimension called market area. A market area is a surface over which a demand or supply offered a specific location is expressed. For a factory, it includes the area where its products are shipped. For retail store, it is the tributary area from which it draw its customer. Transportation particularly important in market area and analysis, because it impacts the location of economic activity as well as the accessibility. Two factors, economic activities and accessibility. The size of market area is function of their threshold and the range. Market threshold, a minimum demand necessary to support an economic activity such as a service, Since each demand has a distinct location, a threshold has a direct spatial dimension. The size of market has a direct relationship with its threshold. Market range, the maximum distance each unit of demand is willing to travel to reach a service, or the maximum distance a product can be shipped to a customer. The range is function of transport cost, time and convenient in view of intervening opportunity. To be profitable, a market must have a range higher than its threshold. In the case of a single market area, its shape in an isotropic plane is a simple concentric circle having the market range as a radius. So, we can go for a graph also. So, now come to the analysis. Since the purpose of commercial activity is service of all available demand when possible, and that the range of many activities is limited, more than one location is required to service an area. For such a purpose, a hexagonal shaped structure of market area represents the optimal market shape under the condition of isotropy. This shape can be modified by non-isotropic conditions, mainly related to variation in the density and the accessibility. So, come to the analysis. You can see here, this is the market and this is the threshold, means this is the minimum products to be delivered, and this is the range. These are the customers. So, and from market to distance, these are the circle, we can say the market could be ranged. So, now this is the threshold level and this is the range. We can see this is the village, town, city and metropolitan, and this is the graph shows the range is high in metropolitan and threshold the threshold is population served area is also more in this case. So, again this is the A and B, we can see here the range and threshold and the market area, distance etc. have been given in this drawing. Now, this is a shape of analysis, this is a 10 kilometer radius. So, we can make a center a different 4 types, now 20 kilometers from each, now there is a 17 kilometers from each. So, that should be nearer to each other. Now, it is possible to make a hexagonal area for the market. So, economic definition of a market area, a market depends on a relationship between the supply and the demand. In fact, it acts as a price fixing mechanism for a goods and the services. The demand is the quantity of goods or services that consumers are willing to buy at a given price, that is a demand. It is high if the price of a commodity is low in relation with the unusefulness, while in the opposition situation high price demand is low. Outside market price, demand can generally be influenced by the following factors and they are, the factors are, first is utility. While goods and services are necessities such as food, do not see much fluctuation in the demand. The demand for the item deemed to be lesser utility, even frivolous, would vary accordingly to income and the economic cycle. There are important difference between the discretionary and non-discretionary spending. Now, income level. So, income especially disable income is directly proportional to the consumption. A population with a high income level has much more purchasing power than a population with a low income. The economic definition of the market area, that is the first is inflation, involves an increase in the money supply in the relation to the availability of a asset, commodities, goods and services. Although it direct influence prices, inflation outside the supply demand relationship and decreasing the purchasing power if the wages do not increase accordingly. Now, taxation, sale and value added taxes can have an inhibiting effect on the sale of goods and services as they add to the production cost and the chain a share of consumer income. Now, come to the saving. The quantity of capital available in saving can provide potential to acquire a consumption goods. Also, people may restrain for consuming if saving is a priority, namely in the period of economic hardship. The wide availability of credit in a fiat currency system has considerably skewed the relationship between the saving and the consumption as it promotes current consumption level, but at the expense of future consumption. So, we can see by this graph, this is the price and this is the demand. So, we can see demand is less when the price is more, demand is more when the price is less of any commodities. This is for the demand curve and this is the supply. So, we can see supply is more when the price is more and supply is less when price is less. So, mixing these two, demand and supply together, and we can superimpose both curves in a equilibrium price. So, we can see this is the demand curve and this is the supply curve. This is the point where these two curves meet each other. So, this is the optimal points for the supply and demand. So, supply is the number of goods and services that firms or individuals are able to produce taking into account of selling price. Now, profit, even if the sales of a product are limited, if the profit are high, then the activities providing goods and services may be satisfied with this situation. This particularly the case for the luxury goods. If profit are low and activities can cease, thus lowering the supply. The competition. Competition is one of the most important mechanism of establishing price. Where the competition is absent or where there is too much over competition, price artificially influence the supply and demand. According to the market principle, supply and demands are determined by the price which an equilibrium between the both. It is often called equilibrium price of market price. This price is comprised between the desire of the firms to sell their goods and services at the highest price possible and the desire of consumers to buy goods and services at the lowest possible price. Now, competition over the market areas. Market accessibility remains fundamentals and how this market is serviced changes. When consumers travel to a store, proximity to a population cluster is a fundamental. The market area is structured by the combination of mobility, option availability such as walking, public transit and the automobile. The markets are structured by the combination of mobility, option and availability. The passenger mobility ceases to be the relevant factor, while freight mobility become a main impedance factor related to delivery time. Geographic information system and the market area analysis. Geographic information system GIS have become a fundamental tool to evaluate the market area, especially in retailing. The spatial representation of GIS, the market area is a polygon and that can be measured and used to perform operations such as intersection, zone of spatial competition, union, area serviced. Among the major method, a GIC can be used to evaluate the market areas are. And they are concentric circles, we have discussed already, the shared by the polygons and star maps. Spatial smoothing, transport distance, manual polygons. Thank you very much. Thank you.